The global order is shaped by intricate networks of strategic partnerships, defense alliances, trade agreements, and religious influences, with the United States playing a pivotal role in defining these alignments. Strategic partnerships as voluntary coalitions uniting nations through shared geopolitical, economic, or ideological objectives, serve as the primary framework for understanding international divisions. These partnerships spanning Western, Eurasian, Asian, Middle Eastern, African, Latin American, and other regional coalitions facilitate cooperation across diverse domains. Global alignment blocks as a complementary analytical framework synthesize these partnerships with military, economic, and cultural elements, providing a holistic view of global alignments. Defense alliances, such as the North Atlantic Treaty Organization (NATO), a collective defense pact among Western nations to counter security threats, and bilateral security agreements, act as a secondary layer, reinforcing strategic commitments. Trade agreements, including the European Union (EU), an economic and political union of European states promoting trade and integration, and the Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), China's global infrastructure and trade network, serve as tertiary connectors, fostering economic interdependence. Religion as a cultural undercurrent shapes national identities, but is secondary to geopolitical and economic drivers. The United States anchors the Western Strategic Partnership, leveraging its military, economic, and diplomatic influence to shape global dynamics, while engaging other partnerships through security, trade, and diplomacy. Its role contrasts with the Russia-China Strategic Partnership, which emphasizes sovereignty and alternative global influence, and intersects with regional partnerships navigating these poles. Israel strengthens Western and Middle Eastern alignments through defense and trade ties. This essay examines these frameworks through 4 distinct subjects: geopolitical rivalries, regional dynamics, economic connectivity, and cultural influences. Each section analyzes how strategic partnerships, defense alliances, and trade agreements interconnect under different scenarios, highlighting the United States' central role in shaping these alignments and their global implications. The analysis culminates in a unified conclusion, underscoring the United States' influence across these frameworks and the future trajectory of global alignments. Emphasizing its strategic engagements. Part 1. Geopolitical rivalries and U.S.-led strategic alignments. Geopolitical rivalries define the primary divisions among strategic partnerships, with the United States leading the Western Strategic Partnership, comprising the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Poland, and Romania. This coalition prioritizes democratic governance and a rules-based order, underpinned by the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, encompassing the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Poland, Romania, and other European nations, ensuring collective defense against security threats. Bilateral security agreements, such as those with Israel and Indo-Pacific allies, and the Quad, including the United States, Japan, Australia, and India, counter regional challenges. The United States drives this partnership's global agenda, coordinating defense strategies and diplomatic initiatives to maintain influence against adversarial coalitions. The Russia-China Strategic Partnership, including China, Russia, Iran, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and North Korea, promotes sovereignty through the Collective Security Treaty Organization, comprising Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Armenia, focusing on post-Soviet security. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, involving China, Russia, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, India, Pakistan, and Uzbekistan, fosters anti-Western coordination. The United States opposes this partnership through sanctions and military posturing, particularly in conflict zones, while engaging neutral partnerships to limit its rivals' influence. Israel's alignment with the United States, through substantial defense cooperation, strengthens Western efforts against adversarial elements in this coalition. The South Asian Strategic Partnership, encompassing India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan, balances between these poles, with India engaging the United States through the Quad and Russia-China through the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The South Pacific Strategic Partnership, including Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand, remains neutral, with the United States fostering security ties via bilateral agreements and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Defense Ministers Meeting Plus, comprising Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and external partners like the United States and China. The Middle Eastern Strategic Partnership, uniting Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain, Israel, Egypt, and Jordan, aligns with the United States through the Gulf Cooperation Council Defense Framework, including Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, and Bahrain, countering Russia-China influences. The Sub-Saharan African Strategic Partnership, comprising South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Ethiopia, Ghana, and Algeria, and the Latin American Strategic Partnership, including Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, and Chile, engage both powers, with the United States leveraging aid and trade. The China-Pakistan Strategic Partnership, centered on Pakistan, aligns with Russia-China, opposing U.S.-aligned partnerships. The United States shapes these rivalries, ensuring its strategic dominance through military and diplomatic leadership. Part 2. Regional Dynamics and U.S. Engagement with Asian and Middle Eastern Partnerships. Regional dynamics highlight how strategic partnerships and alliances operate within Asia and the Middle East, with the United States shaping alignments. The South Asian Strategic Partnership balances global rivalries through bilateral defense agreements with the United States, including logistics exchanges and participation in the Quad. The South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, a regional trade organization, fosters economic ties, though internal rivalries limit effectiveness. The United States strengthens this partnership through defense and technology trade with India, enhancing regional influence while countering Russia-China's presence via the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The South Pacific Strategic Partnership prioritizes neutrality, with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Defense Ministers Meeting Plus coordinating maritime security. The United States engages this partnership through bilateral agreements, such as with the Philippines, to counter regional challenges while promoting the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, a trade initiative fostering economic cooperation with Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and other Indo-Pacific nations. This engagement balances Russia-China's influence through the Belt and Road Initiative, ensuring U.S. strategic presence in the Indo-Pacific. The Middle Eastern Strategic Partnership aligns closely with the United States through the Gulf Cooperation Council Defense Framework and bilateral agreements, including substantial U.S. support for Israel. The Abraham Accords, a diplomatic and economic normalization agreement between Israel, United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain, enhance U.S.-backed ties, countering adversarial elements within the Russia-China Strategic Partnership. The United States leverages military bases and security commitments to maintain influence, while Gulf states engage the Belt and Road Initiative, balancing U.S. alignment. Israel's role strengthens this partnership, aligning U.S. interests with regional security goals. The United States engages the Sub-Saharan African Strategic Partnership and Latin American Strategic Partnership through aid and trade, countering Russia-China's influence. The China-Pakistan Strategic Partnership opposes U.S.-aligned partnerships, with the United States countering through regional allies. The U.S.'s strategic engagement ensures influence in shaping regional dynamics, fostering cooperative alignments. Part 3. Economic Connectivity and U.S.-Driven Trade Agreements. Economic connectivity through trade agreements shapes strategic partnerships, with the United States anchoring Western-led initiatives. The Western Strategic Partnership drives economic integration through the European Union and the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, a regional trade pact with the United States, Mexico, and Canada. The Indo-Pacific Economic Framework extends U.S. economic influence to South Pacific and South Asian partners, fostering trade with Japan, India, and others. The United States promotes these agreements to maintain economic leadership, countering Russia-China's initiatives and engaging neutral partnerships to limit their economic influence. The Russia-China Strategic Partnership leverages the Belt and Road Initiative to connect with South Asian, South Pacific, Middle Eastern, African, and Latin American partnerships. The BRICS Group, promoting alternative financial systems, challenges U.S.-led institutions. The United States counters this through initiatives like the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment, engaging African and Latin American partnerships to offer economic alternatives. Israel's trade with India and Gulf states strengthens U.S.-aligned economic networks, enhancing connectivity across regions. The South Asian Strategic Partnership engages both U.S.-led and Russia-China trade initiatives, with the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation fostering regional trade. The South Pacific Strategic Partnership, through the ASEAN Free Trade Area, a regional trade bloc with Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand, drives economic integration, while the Belt and Road Initiative and Indo-Pacific Economic Framework create economic links. The Middle Eastern Strategic Partnership, through the Abraham Accords and OPEC+, a global oil production coordination group with Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and others, balances U.S. and Russia-China economic ties. The Sub-Saharan African Strategic Partnership, via the African Continental Free Trade Area, and the Latin American Strategic Partnership, through Mercosur, a trade bloc with Brazil, Argentina, and Chile, foster regional economic integration, engaging both powers. The China-Pakistan Strategic Partnership, through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a Belt and Road Initiative project, aligns with Russia-China. The United States maintains influence through trade initiatives, fostering cross-bloc connectivity. Part 4. Cultural influences and U.S. alignment with religious identities. Cultural influences, particularly religion, shape strategic partnerships, with the United States leveraging its Christian-majority identity to align with Western and Latin American partners. The Western Strategic Partnership, rooted in Catholicism and Protestantism with secular governance in some nations, fosters cultural unity, using the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and trade agreements to reinforce cohesion. Israel's Jewish identity aligns with U.S. security goals, enhancing Western influence in the Middle East. The Russia-China Strategic Partnership encompasses diverse religious identities, Orthodox Christianity, Shia and Sunni Islam, and secularism, unified by anti-Western objectives. The United States opposes this partnership's cultural narrative, engaging neutral partnerships to counter its influence. The South Asian Strategic Partnership, with Hinduism, Islam, and Buddhism, balances U.S. and Russia-China ties, with the United States fostering alignment through India's democratic values. The South Pacific Strategic Partnership, with Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, and secularism, remains neutral, with the United States engaging Christian-majority nations to strengthen security ties. The Middle Eastern Strategic Partnership, dominated by Sunni Islam and Judaism, aligns with the United States through shared security goals, with Israel's role central to countering adversarial Islamic elements. The Sub-Saharan African Strategic Partnership, with Christianity and Islam, engages U.S. aid programs, aligning culturally with Western values. The Latin American Strategic Partnership, unified by Catholicism, aligns with U.S. economic initiatives like the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, while engaging Russia-China's BRICS. The China-Pakistan Strategic Partnership, rooted in Sunni Islam, opposes U.S.-aligned partnerships, with no cultural alignment. The United States leverages cultural influence to strengthen partnerships, fostering cooperation across diverse religious landscapes while maintaining strategic dominance. Conclusion. The United States anchors the global framework of strategic partnerships and alliances, shaping international relations through its leadership in the Western Strategic Partnership and engagement with regional coalitions. Strategic partnerships, as the primary framework, unite nations through shared geopolitical, economic, and ideological objectives, with the United States driving democratic values and security cooperation via the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and bilateral agreements. Global alignment blocks, as a complementary lens, synthesize these partnerships with defense alliances, trade agreements, and religious influences, providing a holistic view of global divisions. The United States' role in geopolitical rivalries, regional dynamics, economic connectivity, and cultural influences underscores its strategic centrality, with Israel enhancing its influence through Middle Eastern and Western alignments. Defense alliances such as the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and the Gulf Cooperation Council Defense Framework reinforce U.S.-led partnerships, while trade agreements like the European Union, United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, and Indo-Pacific Economic Framework extend economic influence. Religion, as a cultural undercurrent, aligns Christian-majority Western and Latin American partnerships with U.S. values, while Israel's Jewish identity strengthens Middle Eastern ties. The United States counters the Russia-China Strategic Partnerships initiatives, such as the Belt and Road Initiative and BRICS, by engaging neutral partnerships in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, ensuring its global influence. The interplay of these elements highlights the United States' ability to navigate complex global dynamics, fostering cooperation and countering rival coalitions. The future trajectory points to intensified U.S. leadership in Western and regional partnerships, with continued engagement to maintain strategic dominance. Addendum: Understanding Global Alignment Blocks. Global alignment blocks constitute an analytical framework designed to synthesize strategic partnerships, defense alliances, trade agreements, and cultural influences, particularly religion, into cohesive groups that illuminate the multidimensional nature of international relations. Unlike strategic partnerships, which are diplomatically recognized coalitions uniting nations through shared geopolitical, economic, or ideological objectives, global alignment blocks offer a structured lens to analyze how these elements converge to shape global divisions. Created to provide clarity and enhance understanding of complex global alignments, this framework integrates military commitments, economic connectivity, and cultural undercurrents, complementing the flexible, goal-driven nature of strategic partnerships. The United States anchors several blocks, leveraging its military, economic, and diplomatic influence, while Israel plays a pivotal role in bridging Western and regional alignments. The Western Alignment Bloc includes the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Poland, and Romania. This bloc integrates the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, a collective defense pact ensuring mutual protection, the European Union, an economic and political union promoting trade and integration, and Christian-majority identities, fostering democratic governance and a rules-based order. The United States drives this bloc's global influence, countering adversarial coalitions through military and economic leadership. The Eurasian Alignment Bloc comprises China, Russia, Iran, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and North Korea. It synthesizes the Collective Security Treaty Organization, a Russia-led military alliance, the Belt and Road Initiative, China's global infrastructure network, and diverse religious identities, including Orthodox Christianity, Islam, and secularism. This bloc promotes sovereignty and alternative global influence, challenging Western dominance through economic and security cooperation. The South Asian Alignment Bloc encompasses India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan, integrating bilateral defense agreements, the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, a regional trade organization, and religious diversity, including Hinduism, Islam, and Buddhism. India's balancing act between Western and Eurasian blocs defines this bloc's strategic autonomy. The Indo-Pacific Alignment Bloc includes Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand, combining the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Defense Ministers Meeting Plus, a security dialogue, the ASEAN Free Trade Area, and diverse faiths. Neutrality drives this bloc's engagement with both global powers. The Middle Eastern Alignment Bloc unites Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain, Israel, Egypt, and Jordan. It incorporates the Gulf Cooperation Council Defense Framework, a regional security pact, the Abraham Accords, a normalization agreement, and Sunni Islam and Judaism, aligning with U.S. interests against adversarial elements. The African Alignment Bloc includes South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Ethiopia, Ghana, and Algeria, synthesizing the African Union Peace and Security Council. the African Continental Free Trade Area, and Christian and Islamic identities. Neutrality allows engagement with both Western and Eurasian economic initiatives. The Latin American Alignment Bloc comprises Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, and Chile, integrating Mercosur, a regional trade bloc, and Catholic identity, balancing Western and Eurasian economic ties. The China-Pakistan Alignment Bloc, centered on Pakistan, aligns with Eurasian interests through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor and Sunni Islam, opposing U.S.-aligned partnerships. Global alignment blocs clarify the interplay of strategic, military, economic, and cultural factors, offering a comprehensive framework to understand global divisions. The United States shapes these blocs through security and trade leadership, with Israel enhancing Western and Middle Eastern alignments, fostering a dynamic global order. Postscript: Israel is not an ally. This essay provides general information on global strategic partnerships, defense alliances, trade agreements, and cultural influences, aiming to elucidate the framework shaping international relations. Throughout the essay, Israel is referenced within the context of the Western Strategic Partnership and Middle Eastern Strategic Partnership, alongside nations such as Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and others. However, it must be clarified that Israel is not an ally of the United States, despite mentions of cooperative arrangements, including defense agreements and trade relationships. The essay does not fully explore the adversarial nature of Israel or other nations, nor does it delve into the extent of their antagonistic relationships, some of which are profoundly contentious. The United States maintains strategic partnerships with Israel and various countries due to decisions by its leadership, which some may view as misguided or compromised. This essay serves solely as an informational overview of strategic partnerships, defense alliances, trade agreements, and cultural influences, and should not be interpreted as endorsing or fully explaining the true nature of these nations or their relationships, which may include adversarial or controversial dimensions. Readers are advised to consider this work as a general guide to understanding global alignments, not a comprehensive analysis of each nation's geopolitical stance or actions.